The lonely Ferris wheel. In a small and picturesque American town, nestled beside a tranquil river and surrounded by rolling hills, the summer carnival was a cherished annual tradition. As the sun's warm embrace gave way to the gentle caress of twilight, the carnival would come to life, casting its vibrant spell upon the town. Charlie was a young man who had recently joined the ranks of the carnival workers. He had heard the stories from the seasoned employees, whispered tales of the carnival's secrets, and the mysteries that unfolded beneath the shimmering lights. One such mystery was the Ferris wheel, a towering monument to nostalgia and wonder that stood as the heart of the carnival. The first night of the carnival had arrived, bringing with it a torrent of laughter, colorful lights, and the intoxicating scent of cotton candy. The town's residents and visitors flocked to the carnival grounds, their faces painted with excitement. But as the night wore on and the hands of the clock inched closer to closing time, the once bustling carnival was transformed into a ghostly echo of its daytime splendor. The sound of laughter and joy dwindled to whispers, the neon lights flickered in muted protest, and the once lively rides now stood in silent anticipation of their next riders. It was during this eerie transition from bustling to deserted that Charlie found himself at the heart of the enigma, the Ferris wheel. As the operator in charge of the Ferris wheel, Charlie took his position in the small booth at its base. He watched as the last stragglers made their way to the ticket booth, ready to experience the grand spectacle one last time before the carnival closed its doors. Among them was a lone figure, a boy of no more than 8 years of age. The boy approached the ticket booth, his eyes filled with a quiet longing that tugged at Charlie's heart. "One for the Ferris wheel, please," the boy requested, extending a small ticket toward him. Charlie accepted the ticket but couldn't help but inquire further. "Where are your parents?" he asked with concern, the carnival's emptying grounds leaving him with a sense of unease. The boy's gaze remained distant, and he did not respond to Charlie's question. Instead, he simply took his seat within one of the Ferris wheel's gondolas, his small form silhouetted against the dying light of the day. Uncertain of what else to do, Charlie allowed the boy to board the ride, activating the controls that would send the Ferris wheel into motion. As the great wheel began its ascent, Charlie watched from his booth, the sensation of unease deepening with each passing moment. The boy's gondola climbed higher and higher into the night sky, ascending toward the stars that twinkled with an otherworldly glow. The carnival grounds below seemed to shrink in comparison, the world beyond fading into obscurity. But as the ride neared its pinnacle, a profound sense of disquiet washed over Charlie. The boy's gondola should have been returning to its starting point, but the seat remained empty. Panic surged through him, and he called out to the other carnival workers, his voice trembling with fear. In a frantic rush, they searched for the boy, their flashlights cutting through the shadows that clung to the Ferris wheel's towering frame. The minutes stretched into an agonizing eternity, and the search proved futile. The boy had seemingly vanished into thin air. Desperation led Charlie to seek out his boss, a seasoned carnival worker who was privy to the secrets that lay hidden beneath the veneer of the carnival. He recounted the mysterious disappearance of the boy, his words laced with fear. His boss regarded him with a knowing look, one that bore the weight of many similar occurrences. With an air of casual acceptance, the boss handed Charlie a faded newspaper clipping, its yellowed edges bearing witness to the passage of time. It contained a haunting headline: "Boy falls from Ferris wheel, 8 years old." The photograph featured the very same boy who had disappeared before Charlie's eyes, his eyes filled with innocence and promise. The date of the article, however, revealed a chilling truth. The event had transpired 8 years prior, the carnival eternally bound to the memory of a tragedy that should have remained in the past. As the carnival lights dimmed and the night whispered its secrets, Charlie was left with more questions than answers. The Ferris wheel, a symbol of joy and wonder, had revealed a darker, enigmatic aspect, one that defied explanation and comprehension. The story concluded as it had begun, with an unresolved mystery that would forever haunt the hearts and minds of those who bore witness to the enigma of the lonely Ferris wheel. The carnival had become a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural were blurred, leaving the characters to grapple with a haunting and unexplained experience. The Laundry Thief. In the heart of a quaint, unsuspecting American city, nestled amid the bustling streets and suburban neighborhoods, there stood a charming house that beckoned its inhabitants with the promise of a peaceful life. A mother and her young daughter, Grace, had recently moved into this new home, their lives forever altered by the possibilities it held. The mother, named Sarah, was a dedicated and hard-working woman who often found herself consumed by the demands of her job. Her days were a flurry of activity, filled with meetings, paperwork, and the relentless pursuit of success. But in the quiet moments of reflection, she knew that the true reward of her endeavors was the life she could provide for her beloved daughter. The responsibility of managing the household fell largely upon Grace, a bright and resourceful girl with an abundance of youthful energy. With a heart filled with the determination to help her mother, Grace took on the roles of a diligent student, a caring daughter, and most importantly, a responsible homekeeper. Among her daily chores, the one that seemed to require her attention most often was the laundry. The house had a modest laundry room tucked away in the basement, a place where the hum of washing machines and the comforting scent of freshly cleaned clothes filled the air. Grace would often descend into this subterranean world, armed with baskets of soiled clothes and a sense of purpose. One ordinary day, Grace's footsteps echoed through the empty laundry room as she embarked on her familiar laundry ritual. She loaded the washing machine with her carefully sorted clothes, adding detergent and setting the machine to work its cleansing magic. She closed the door with a definitive click and turned her attention to other household chores, her youthful curiosity guiding her through the tasks. But when she returned to the laundry room to retrieve the now cleaned clothes, she was met with a startling sight. The washing machine's door had been lifted open. Her brows furrowed in confusion, and she questioned her own memory. "That's weird," she murmured to herself, certain that she had securely shut the door. Shrugging off the peculiar occurrence as a minor lapse in attention, Grace retrieved her clean clothes and went about her day. However, the strange incident had cast a small shadow over her thoughts, an enigmatic puzzle she could not resist revisiting. In the days that followed, Grace found herself drawn to the laundry room again, a sense of curiosity compelling her to test the waters. With each load of laundry, she watched with bated breath, hoping to unravel the mystery of the open washing machine door. And yet, the inexplicable phenomenon repeated itself, always when she was not present to witness it. As if an unseen hand were at play, the door would be lifted open, revealing the freshly laundered clothes within. Grace's anxiety began to mount, her thoughts filled with uncertainty. The inexplicable event was made all the more unsettling by an unsettling pattern that began to emerge. Each time the washing machine door was mysteriously opened, one piece of her clothing would vanish. It started with a single sock, and in the subsequent laundry cycles, the disappearance extended to a pair of shorts, a beloved t-shirt, and even a scarf. The clothes disappeared as if swallowed by the abyss, leaving Grace to grapple with an ever-growing collection of solitary garments. Weeks turned into months, and Grace found herself in the midst of a baffling and perplexing enigma. The open washing machine door had become a haunting presence in her daily routine, a riddle she could not decipher. The missing clothes served as silent witnesses to a puzzle that remained unsolved. In her search for answers, Grace hesitantly confided in her mother, sharing her concerns about the peculiar occurrences in the laundry room. Sarah, overwhelmed by the demands of her work, offered little more than comforting words and the assurance that the mystery would eventually be explained. But as the days passed, Grace's life took an unexpected turn. She descended into the laundry room once more, filled with a sense of dread and anticipation. The washing machine's door had been lifted open again, and Grace's pulse quickened in response. With a hesitant hand, she reached for the laundry, half expecting the usual disappearance of one of her garments. But to her astonishment, the clothes were all present. In fact, something peculiar had occurred in the laundry room, something that defied explanation. In place of the missing garments, a complete outfit had been arranged for Grace. The missing sock, shorts, t-shirt, and scarf were all there, neatly placed as if laid out for her by an unseen hand. The garments appeared as though they had never been separated from the ensemble, creating an outfit that had not existed before. Fear mingled with wonder as Grace examined the ensemble before her. The clothes were clean and fresh, as if they had never been missing from her wardrobe. But it was not just the presence of the clothes that filled her with a sense of unease. It was the inexplicable act of kindness, as though a silent and invisible force had decided to grant her a gift. The story of the laundry thief remained shrouded in mystery, a conundrum that could not be easily unraveled. Grace's days continued, filled with the routines of a young girl's life, while the laundry room retained its role as a sanctuary of enigma and intrigue. As the curtains of time fell over the laundry room, the answers remained hidden, leaving a trail of questions and uncertainty in its wake. The tale concluded with the same air of enigma that had shrouded its beginnings, a story that hinted at the existence of an unexplained presence that had woven its way into the fabric of daily life. For Grace, the laundry room had become a place where the ordinary met the inexplicable, and the boundaries between the known and the unknown remained tantalizingly blurred. The laundry thief had left its mark, a lingering enigma that would forever haunt the corners of Grace's thoughts. The child in room 213. In the heart of a bustling American city, where towering skyscrapers cast their long shadows over the labyrinth of streets below, lived a driven and ambitious executive named Emily. She had embarked on a business trip that was destined to play a pivotal role in her career. Her company had entrusted her with the task of sealing a major deal, a responsibility she embraced with unwavering determination. The executive's journey led her to a reputable hotel nestled amidst the urban landscape. Its grand facade and opulent interiors were a testament to its reputation, a place where comfort and luxury converged seamlessly. After a taxing day of meetings and negotiations, Emily looked forward to retiring to her room, number 213, for a much-needed respite. The hotel's polished marble floors greeted her weary footsteps as she approached the front desk, a courteous hotel clerk ready to provide her with the keycard to her designated room. Emily's anticipation of rest and relaxation surged, and she eagerly accepted the keycard, her fingers brushing against its smooth surface. She made her way to the elevators, the sterile and calming scent of the hotel's air fresheners filling her senses. The elevator ride was a silent ascent through the floors, and Emily's thoughts revolved around the intricacies of the business deal she was about to finalize. Upon arriving on the second floor, she strode purposefully to the door of room 213. As she inserted the keycard into the electronic lock, an uneasy sense of exhaustion washed over her. To her dismay, the door refused to yield to her attempts, the telltale green light flickering in defiance. With a frustrated sigh, Emily retraced her steps and headed back to the front desk, her irritation growing with each moment that passed. The hotel clerk issued her a new keycard, the assurances of its functionality delivered with practiced hospitality. Emily accepted the keycard with cautious optimism and returned to the elevator, determined to find the rest she desperately needed. She reached room 213 once more, her hopes rekindled by the promise of access. The keycard was inserted, and with a soft peep, the green light glowed. The door was unlocked, but Emily's relief was short-lived. As she pushed the door open, she was greeted by a scene that defied reason and sent shivers down her spine. Room 213 was cast in darkness, the dim illumination from the corridor hallway revealing only shadows and indistinct shapes within. A chill coursed through Emily's veins as she stepped into the room, her eyes darting around in search of the source of the unease that enveloped her. But it was not the empty room that sent her heart into a frenzied race. It was the figure that materialized before her in the shadows, a silhouette of a small child, standing silently in the dimly lit room. The figure appeared to be a young boy, his presence a stark contrast to the solitude that should have awaited Emily within her hotel room. Terror and confusion overwhelmed her as she attempted to comprehend the inexplicable situation before her. The child's visage was haunting in its simplicity, his features obscured by the inky darkness that seemed to cling to him. Yet there was no denying the unsettling presence of a child who should not have been there. Fear gripped Emily's heart, and her voice quivered as she called out to the hotel staff, demanding an explanation for the chilling encounter. Her frantic words echoed through the corridors as she attempted to flee from the room, but the presence of the child remained an enigma she could not escape. Back at the front desk, her face pale with fear and bewilderment, Emily recounted the eerie encounter to the hotel staff. She implored the hotel clerk to understand the gravity of the situation, to recognize that her room had not been empty, and that she had been greeted by the chilling presence of the child in room 213. The hotel clerk, however, bore an expression of bewildered disbelief, his assurances of "no one has checked in but you" serving as an unsettling contrast to the reality Emily had experienced. The executive's pleas fell upon deaf ears, and the hotel staff maintained their stance that she was the sole occupant of room 213. Emily's business trip was marked by the eerie encounter, a chilling memory that remained etched into her consciousness. The inexplicable presence of the child in room 213 left her grappling with questions that had no clear answers. It became a haunting tale of the unexplained, a mystery that refused to be unraveled. The story concluded as it had begun, shrouded in the enigmatic presence of the child in room 213, a presence that remained unexplained and unreconciled. Emily's business trip concluded, but the unsettling encounter left an indelible mark, a memory that would forever haunt her thoughts and cast a shadow over her life. As the city's streets bustled with life and its towering buildings reached for the sky, the enigma of room 213 remained a reminder that there were mysteries that could not be easily explained, even within the boundaries of the everyday world.